you, Dr. Sharma, Mr. Sharma, for that introduction, and thank all of you for being here today. It's such an honor and a privilege, and I'd like to give a special acknowledgement as well to Yupinda Batts for just his recognition and him having the fortitude to invite me in a good relationship. And in his absence, Mustafa, he's a very close friend as well. And I have talked to him every week since he's been ill. And he sends his regards and regrets that he could not be here today to each of you. Empowerment. What is empowerment as it refers to the community? Empowerment is the ability to be able to carry out functions and objectives and the objectives of a community that's determined by the strength process. So when we speak about empowerment, the vehicle in which unity and community use as empowerment is information. My name is L.Hester, as was said, and the purpose that we are coming here is because as far as Rotary Club is concerned, is we share the same vision as the Rotary. It gathers people from all continents, all nationalities, backgrounds, and they put us together as one. And this is what makes the Rotary Club so strong, over 1 million members strong worldwide. So it definitely is a blessing and a blessing to be here to represent and speak to fellow Rotarians. Both clubs are non-political and non-religious, and is one that is open to all the cultures. I had a lot of things prepared today as I consider some things that's happening with unity and community, which is built with two foundations. It started in 2010, I should say 2004. But we all remember the events that happened on 9/11 of 2001, correct? Well, what it did for me, it opened my eyes to see another picture. And all of the chaos that was going on is what we can do, what I can do, and we all have to do that personally. What is it that you can do? What is it that you can do to make a difference right where you're at without a structure being surrounding you? So I just went across the street. That's it. And that's how simple it is to get to know one another. And I started opening dialogue and speaking. My background is from New York City, so I grew up with the Twin Towers as well. And being with all cultures, there is a melting pot, as you well know. So it's not strange for me to be able to learn other cultures. I grew up with them. Just the fact when I look out here now, I can see that unity and community works. And actually, if you slow down, it's unity and communing. Communing. We are communing right now. And what best place to commune than over food and with good people? So therefore, I went out to see what I can do to make a difference in the world. It started in Texas City, in a little space, small little town in Texas, where I had a strong vision. And I am a visionary, I have always been one, but I saw a way to connect all the cultures together as one. So why is the Indian culture so important into our timeline? You cannot negate the spirituality of anything. You cannot take our spiritualness out. So no matter what you believe, we're all one, and I believe because you're sitting here now and you are members of a worldwide organization that believes in culturally diversity, that means I know your mindset already. So why is unity in the community very important? Well, you see, I was looking for the free thinkers and the movers and shakers, people who does things unconventionally. Am I talking to the right kind of people? You see, when I was sitting here and everyone was introducing themselves, in my mind, which I'm a coordinator and an organizer, I see so many things right here. We could start a business out of many, many, many things right here. We are sitting on $1 million just from what I'm listening to from each other, what you brought to the table, what you did not know. We just had a conversation just a few minutes before you came about sewing and bringing the youth and the teens and the cultures together as one. I'm looking for people who has thought very hard and long and wanted to get up and do something for the community as well. So, what is unity in the community, and why have we continued on the path? Because if you do anything for the community, you do know there is no money in that, don't you? It has to come from here to keep you going. So, when I began to see the need, not only in my community, but worldwide, I got up, I spoke. I've been in the Indian community since 2008. And Rashida, if you don't mind handing the brochures out, or Farmer as well, because I'm going to give you a little synopsis, and each one of you will have a brochure as to what unity in the community is all about and who makes it up. Unity in the community is non-political. It never had a board. It's a self-will. You say, I want to do it, and you're in. So after a decade of being around the world, can you imagine how many people I have known and got to know? How many communities? So I said, what am I going to do with all of these people that I know? So many years ago, we formed the Worldwide Connectivity Network. And that Worldwide Connectivity Network does things that people think is miraculous. Because as a natural born entrepreneur, I was raised that way. I know nothing else. I just connect people, places, and things. Two things. How many business owners do we have here with a show of hands? Okay, business owners. Organizational leaders do we have here? Mom and dads. Sisters and brothers. Everyone. Now you see, that is the commonality. Well, being in a community, there are forces that have allowed us to be separate as well. And sometimes we could get sidetracked by those forces. But when we had that tenacity and that passion to transcend what you hear on the media and what you see and go and find out for yourself, you realize that people, they're your brother and your sister. If one suffer, we all suffer. And if you can alleviate that suffering, like you would if that was your brother or your sister or your aunt or your mother, we are the change that we have been waiting on. And the fact that I'm standing here again today shows me that my vision that I had of uniting the communities together is the reality, because you're right here. If you have your brochure, Rashida is passing them out. Many people ask me the question, how do you get paid? You know, that's the good question. How do you get paid? What is unity in the community? How do you get paid? How is your structure? Unity in the community has never had one penny. It was never funded by anyone. It was an idea that came into fruition. It was self-funded by my own organization. And that is why L.Hester Business Development and Consultant was established. And normally within 90 days, I could get anybody from a mom and pop store to a corporate into the money within 90 days. because when you have the resources. I looked here today and I see such a mixture. We have the Latinos, the Indians, the blacks, the whites. We have the rainbow right here. And this is where change starts, right here. Unity community is compiled of educators, politicians. I have served on many boards in Houston, Texas, where I'm from. I've only been in Atlanta for a little under a year now. And I will be returning back to Houston to continue some of my missions as well. I have a great following in the Latino community already. I've been in California for many years, serving as the board of director for film companies, which allowed me exposure to many different people all over the world. I've been a supporter of animals, especially the elephants, and I supported a project in India in 2008 for that purpose. Along this journey, there's been many illusions that I have realized has been put upon us to purposely separate the cultures. And I say right now is a glorious time to be alive. It's a glorious time to be right where you're at, because people are waiting for us. They have been waiting for a very long time. The road to peace, and this is my agenda, is to unblock that road. A lot of commercialism has been achieved because of unrest, prejudice, diseases purposely done, as well as a way to keep humanity at a conflict with each other. But right now, I would say that we won because we're here and we continue. And there's many all over the world that's just as conscientious. The Rotary Club is definitely one of them. Unity in the community is good to align with each other as well, because like I said, we seek the same purposes. Our foundation is truth and justice, which meant that I have gone many, many places into the leaders of this world. And when they think that you are insignificant, you'd be surprised how much you learn. When you are small and lowly and humble, you'd be surprised how much you learn. You'd be surprised how much is said when they don't think you're paying attention. But when you're on a God-given mission, you take all those aspects from here and from there and use it to bridge a gap. So you see, Unity in the community was formed for solutions only. We knew the problems. We grew up with them. We're very educated, psychology, knowing the mindset of people. So therefore, I was like, what is it that's influencing our mindset? Is it television? Tell-a-vision. Did they truly tell us their vision? So being in the film industry, I understand the trickery and the illusions that can be cast. So if nothing else, I want to wake people up from that sleep and that slumber. My voice, it's not just a weapon. Even though my daughter and my family may contradict that. But more importantly is what you do. And may my life demonstrate these past few years that my commitment has been to the community. The lack, so someone else can eat. You see, I did not know what it was to be without food at one time. I did not know what it was to be homeless. I grew up in a very privileged family. At 16 years of age, I signed a paper and denied my own inheritance because it was not money. That was the most important thing to me. Now, mind you, I wish I didn't do it so many times, but nevertheless, I'm saying this because I know what it is to have much and I know what it is to have little. But until you're able to walk in someone else's shoes, you don't feel it. I understood it, I thought, when I could see people on the streets, but I have lived it now. So the good thing is, what is our mission and where do we go from here after 10 years later? After 10 years, much wisdom has been attained as to how we can reverse our communities. So I've been privileged. I share my network now. Many people, they see me and they think that's it. And I'm like, but you don't see all the thousands of people behind me. And you're there as well. In this one room today, showing about connecting people's places and things, already connected businesses since I've been in this room just now. Mr. Jose, he had a desire to cross into another culture. Well, it came to fruition today in this room. Other people had want to connect with other entrepreneurs, and we had a handful of people who raised their hand and said that they were business owners. But let me share with you, business is not as usual anymore. You cannot conduct business the same way because you have to have people. And it's not just all about money. When you do the right thing, the money comes anyhow. And money did not stop many of you here today, has it? You continued on with your journey, your education, your children. But how many of us has really stopped to help someone and bring them back with us? And this is what I am encouraging everyone to do today, is that overcome the fear. Overcome the fear. When 9/11 happened, I believe everything was used for us to fear one another in different countries. And when there's fear, there's chaos. But when you're able to bring order out of chaos, that's a God thing. That's a God thing. So the fact that we're here again, speaking to each other in a very diverse room, shows that not only is it feasible, but it's done. It's done. So after 10 years, I could look in this room and say unity in the community has done just that. We have united communities worldwide. 9/11 was such a pivotal point for many of us. And on 9/11 of 2004, unity in the community was born, verified by a proclamation by former mayor of Houston, Bill White. Again, I said information is the platform, and we supplied information as it related to safety and nuclear awareness and being prepared in case something happened. And we did that for over 17 million people. I designed a program that would enable the municipalities to infuse the citizens with this important information before it happened. How many of you are familiar with CERT, C-E-R-T? Certified Emergency Response Team members. You may remember them during Katrina, being in Texas. That was very vivid for me. If you remember some footage on television, those are the ones that come into the houses and search for the survivors, and they mark the places. As a community organizer with this ability, I'm able to organize communities, neighborhoods, and combine them together so that you know who your neighbors are, what would happen in case of emergency. Suppose somebody is sick in a wheelchair, this, how do we all commune? And I could do an out sketch no matter where I am at for unity. Being a CERT member has also allowed and is also sanctioned by FEMA It has allowed me to go places and see things that very few have seen. Having a background in medicine, emergency medicine, I have always been one to rise to an occasion without even thinking about it if it's somebody's life is in danger. So with that said, my goal is to be able to bring those CERTS classes here as well to help the community to organize. The benefits of being a Unity community sponsor and visionary of it is I'm able to develop your business as well and connect you to the right kind of people, products, and services. And if you do business right in this room, people will be surprised how much money you make as you're helping others. Okay? So what does the future look like as far as we're concerned? The future. What do I see? I see a world where most of us are seasteading. Who heard of that terminology before? Seasteading. It's a company in Pondicherry, India, who has right now a proposal before the UN for us to live and build cities upon the sea, right outside the Pacific Ocean in California and the Bay of Bengal in India as well. There's a proposal there so we can establish our own kind of government, free of all of this that we're going through right now, as we build the cities in the sea. And I am spearheading that project as one of the board members of the Golden Change Foundation in Pondicherry, India. And I do see it as being very viable, and it's based on the vision that happened with Sri Aurobindo, if you're familiar with who he is. The Unity community right now, we are also aligning our doctors. Our great vision is to have conventional doctors line up for the cure. Lining up because of natural homeopathics. Lining up to save people naturally, the way we were supposed to be, not conventional medicine. In conclusion, if you're going to take anything away from here today, let it be one thing, that we can no longer be taken in. So once we come out there, this is how we empower ourselves. And there's programs that we have designed and is designed. And if you have any idea or have a desire to transcend your business or your organization to the next level, you have some cards that's been placed on your table already. You fill them out. I'm able to take your thoughts out of your head, put them on a piece of paper, and it grows legs. It comes alive. And that's a gift, ladies and gentlemen, that I don't take for granted.